Warner Brothers. I want to talk about them as infrequently as possible, but we must talk about a major, I guess, direction change, a shift in their perspective that has happened over the past few days. So Warner Brothers has kind of
no relation
has shifted their strategy on their future games to involve more live service, mobile, and free-to-play games. And the quote from WB Games CEO JB Perrette said, rather than just launching a one-and-done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter that is a live service where people can live and work and build and play in a world in an ongoing basis? So there was a lot of discourse around this again after the underperformance of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, the overperformance of a Hogwarts Legacy, how they're expecting to kind of approach the space forward, but it looks like for them they're going the live service way. When your thoughts?
I love that they literally said, hey, we know what the most successful game we've ever made is, or at least the most successful game of the past year. Successful being sales, by the way, not success being good games. The most successful game we made last year was a single player experience. The study shows that this is the best, like, making games that people want, quality, like we have crazy amounts of IPs we can pull from. Fuck all that. Let's go the route we went with a game that is arguably one of the biggest flops of this year. Not saying it still is. We got a lot of year left, but let's do what we did with Suicide Squad because that will make us the most money. I think it's pretty funny. These boys are so out of touch. Like, honestly, I don't. Honestly, lie on your resumes. Everybody who's listening to this, lie on your resumes right now, because the people who are the heads of these companies don't know a fucking thing about video games, don't know a fucking thing about this industry, and they are making buku bucks to make these decisions. So if they can sit here and lie to your face and be like, we know what we're doing, you can lie on that resume, man. Fuck them. What does it even matter? Everything is made up. It doesn't matter. You're gonna sit here and tell me live service is the way to go after the fucking fiasco with Suicide Squad? Hey, buddy, go crazy. Go crazy. You know what? You guys canceled a bunch of movies that people were excited for. Literally have not made a good movie in I don't know how long. I watched Aquaman the other day. That shit was awful. And y'all telling me y'all know what y'all doing? Hey, I wish we could fire people. Like, I wish I could fire people, because the way that board of directors room would be collecting dust right now, it would be so fat. The swiftness at which I would kick people out of this place, because it's bananas that you have so much to work with, so many good talented people and IPs, and you decide we're gonna do the opposite of what made us money last year. Go crazy, man. Enjoy life. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Oh, Embracer, you got company. Like bro, let's. I haven't seen, again, in the entertainment space, a company this hell bent on saying fuck you to everybody who's ever supported them at some way, shape, or form at a strategic or executive level. I've never seen a company so hell bent, so determined to flip the bird to all the consumers and frontline workers, developers, storytellers, writers, again, mocap people, artists, all that stuff. I've never seen a company so hell-bent on doing that at every level of entertainment, at every branch of entertainment that this company touches. Like, it's crazy. It's wild. This is I don't even want to say unprecedented, because capitalism probably provided other examples like this before. We just probably ain't heard it yet, but it's tapped. They're tapped in the head, bro. All right, listen. You gotta like think about it though. Close your eyes with me, y'all. Visualize this. One game that you drop that's in your wheelhouse, by the way, it's your IP. You don't have to spend any money on licensing it. So imagine how much money you make. It's the highest selling game of 2023. You have that there. And then you have two live service games back to back in the Batman universe, or whatever you want to call it, in the Batman franchise, whatever you want to call it. Both of them are very, very much ridiculed and didn't come out to the standard that people wanted them. Undersold, underperformed, and again, just under-delivered in all aspects of the word. And you know what they said? They looked at both of those options and were like, let's go with option B. I think B's the one we want. We want the underperformance, but live service though. And this is my thing. This is my thing. Companies try to, I think this is something that happens in every space in one way, shape, or another. Companies try to compare themselves to the best possible outcome of a certain application or certain execution, and don't understand the tools, the time, the resources, and the ingredients that came, together that you may or may not be aware of to make that best possible outcome happen. In my head, I just think that these guys are like, oh, look at Fortnite. Fortnite's killing it. Their live service, they're killing it, right, guys? Right? Why can't we do that with all of our games? Why can't we do that? Because they came together with the actual billions and billions and billions of dollars that Epic Games spent. The games that Epic Games had to kill to make sure Fortnite was in a good standing. The amount of money they spent on collaborations, building the world, their own engine work, which is a huge thing in and of itself, to consistently update this game, keep it flowing and fresh and da. Like, there's so much work that went into Fortnite, and the right timing of the gaming boom, COVID lockdown, all that stuff to propel this game to something that it could have never been otherwise. That was a perfect storm of elements that came through. Not to say that there can't be a good live service game. You know what I'm saying? There can be other good live service games, and it depends on what definition you guys are looking for. If you're looking for, like, oh, games that always have constant updates, then Helldivers is a live service game. But depends on your definition. But I'm talking about a bit more strict, consistent updates, battle passes, and all that stuff like that. If there are good games, there are good games that can come from it, but I feel like Warner Brothers in this situation are looking at the top example with a grade investment, a grade application, a grade timing, a grade patience, a grade synergy from executive level all the way down to make the right decisions overall. And they don't realize that their team that they gotta look at, they have D level execution, maybe C level at best investment, pure monetarily wise, even though they own most of the IPs, and they're trying to make an A+ dish with D+ ingredients. Do you see what's happening here? Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
no, I know what you mean.
Again, in content creation, I'll give you another example here. Parallel. In content creation, there are some people who come up with a format that works for them, that is born from their style. They organically do it. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, people come along, they see you're getting traction off of that style, that idea, that format of doing things, and they rip it right off you. I've seen it happen time and time again over the years. We just talked about it yesterday. I was about to say, we literally sat down and talked about it yesterday for a second. People will come through and steal your idea, but then eventually, when they don't get as much traction as you, in most cases, they're gonna wonder why didn't we get as much success as this person? Why didn't we do that? Because you don't know the ingredients that came together to make it work for that person. I'll give you another example. If anybody watches sports, anybody watches soccer, 2 soccer clubs. One soccer club had to restart from the ground up after a shitty 6 years. I'm talking about the club that I support. You know what I'm saying? And then now another big club is really shit right now. And they're like, yo, look at those guys. Those guys had to, they stuck with their manager when times were bad. And look at them now, they're great. But you don't understand, we were in a completely different situation than what you're in. You're trying to compare the best possible situation that happened with what we got. But your resources are different. Your thought process is different. Your ability to think outside of the box and create something is different than ours. You cannot compare those two situations. And so I feel like Warner Brothers just see the money line. They just see the money line. Fortnite did great. X did great. Y did great. Z did great. Why can't we make more of that stuff to make that great money? But you don't understand. It has to be a great game first to really garner some great money. Unless you're Call of Duty at this point, you can ride off the coattails of great games you made in the past. But that's outside the point. It's just baffling to me that it's not just the fact that people switch, because again, most of these companies, I'm pretty sure the majority of the gaming space is live service anyways, because everybody wants to make money. I get it. I don't like it, but I understand the rationale of trying to deal with a lot of you like bums who are suits. You know what I'm saying? I understand your rationale. You want to make money. You want to. The shift between gaming focused, gamer focused, developer focused rhetoric and action has immediately switched and very, very much converted to shareholder driven thought processes. It's dominating now. It's not just warring with a developer perspective. It's dominating everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why Cyberpunk dropped too early. That's why there's so many other games that probably aren't in as good of a shape as you want them to be, because they probably had to drop early to meet a sales quota. We got to drop a game this quarter, you know what I'm saying? Or else our stock price ain't gonna look good. Investor confidence is gonna be low. All the mumbo jumbo from Investopedia that people Google and don't really know the definition of is gonna be in mix. You know what I'm saying? Because of those things. But Warner Brothers, you had the exact evidence. Listen, as controversial as the game was, Hogwarts Legacy sold like hotcakes. It sold like hotcakes, bro. And you had Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League back to back to back. You had those games, the clearest examples of what you should and probably should not do in a space where people are tired of live service. You said, what? Let's give them more live service, because I think we're gonna get more money that way. Like, what are you talking? And listen, and this is the sad truth. As much as we can bash and rag on the suits at Warner Brothers to make a decision, this is the sad reality of it to me. They're gonna get away with this because there's just enough people who are gonna buy into these live service games no matter what. It doesn't matter what people do. It doesn't matter what people, again, voting with your wallet is a very serious and very real thing. And there's just enough people who are gonna justify making these games because it has Batman on it. It doesn't matter what they heard. Some people might not even hear anything. They'll just see the commercial and buy in. That's all they need. They say, oh, another game in the Batman verse? Oh, I'm in. Boom. That's it. I'm going to pay for these DLC seasons. I'm going to pay for all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. They don't care. And the number of people that don't care enough is the exact number of what Warner Brothers suits and all the execs need to get by and say, hey, we're doing good enough. We're getting enough money off these suckers. Let's just keep going. It's that Call of Duty conundrum, bruh. We've made enough money, you know what I'm saying, to justify the existence of doing this in this certain way. Why stop now? And they're going full throttle with it. Again, this ain't rap. This ain't rap. You know what I mean? This shouldn't, in my opinion, be how it's supposed to be. But due to how sharp the knife edge is getting when it comes to thinking in the interest of an investor and a shareholder first, this stuff is only gonna become more frequent. And again, I put it past nobody that Warner Brothers was the first people to say, hey, we're going this way. We're getting to the bag. Screw all y'all want good games. Hope you like live service, because give you more of that. Hope you like live service games. Hope you think are good. Like, it's crazy.
The funniest thing is when we circle back in 3 years and all their games are live service, and they're like, wow, none of these games are making money. And it's like, bro, people can only afford so many live service games in 1 month.
Bro.
Like, there's just not enough money to go around. And we're already at that bottleneck, because I'm not gonna lie to you, there's no game Warner Brothers can put out that's gonna make me want to buy skins in it over Fortnite, or buy skins in it over other games, you know? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Like, and this was a funny you know, kind of just conversation point too over the past maybe a couple of weeks or so. The gaming industry isn't expanding, you know? It's starting
shrinking.
It's I wouldn't say shrinking yet, because there's still a little bit of growth on it, but we're hitting a plateau. We're definitely slowing down. Like, we've been slowing down for probably a year or so now, or maybe a couple of years, probably more, but we're 100%. We're hitting that plateau, and not just from an economic stage sense or whatever. If you think about it, again, more people are going outside. The economy's getting tighter. People are spending less money on games, especially in this moment in time. So all the signs point to, if you have a live service game, I'm less likely to buy you, because I'm probably going to be expected to buy more things from that game in the future. rather than buy a one-off experience, I could probably enjoy this as many times I want because I bought the game full price at that one moment. That's all I got to spend on it, and that's it. I don't think people understand at certain levels that the gaming industry is not going to have enough money from consumer side to justify an overabundance of live service games, especially at the AAA level where you guys want to push everything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if everything's a live service game at the AAA level, I can bet you people are going to have to make those choices. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to make the choice of one over the other instead of going for both. And I'm not going to lie, if you put a game that hasn't had the best rep from a Warner Brothers brand up against, like, Call of Duty, who do their season updates and have a season pass on shit like that, Call of Duty winning. Call of Duty's beating you guys because they've done this long enough. They have the clout in their hands. You don't. So it's to me, it's backwards. Eventually that well's going to run out. Eventually the well's going to decrease enough to where you have to either cost cut aggressively, which that's going to lead to more layoffs, and again that race to the bottom, or you're gonna have to stop and rethink your strategy and say, yo, we should probably just focus on making maybe like more insular, just hopefully great games instead of just trying to shove the money play down people's throats with every new release. You gotta end up making that choice, but the market is not gonna support the actions that you're taking and the strategy that you're trying to shift, in my opinion, because it's not growing to the amount that would justify it, that you would like to, that Warner Bros would like to, that anybody would like to. So good luck, I guess. But all this means for the people that really matter the most in the situation, the gamers, is I don't think we're gonna see the crazy heat if live service is all we're gonna get from Warner Bros in the next few years.